The grind, yeah, the bubble grind.
Now we have a guy that could probably get in there if you...
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers hit the road once again. It's 101. Happy Wednesday. How you doing, Nasties? How you feeling? Weather's nice. The only bad part about today is Joaquin's not here on the biggest day in F1 that we've had in years. We'll get to all that. It's Hernan Salas, live from the William Huff Studios. I'm with my guy, Koob. Don't worry, Gager will be back tomorrow. Lots to get to on the show, of course. The trade that went down yesterday while we were wrapping up the tournament. Ike Howard, we're all over it. We'll have some fun with that for sure. We'll hear some clips from him as well. Hernan's World 140, presented by the Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf Club. We'll have Inside the Numbers in the second hour. Tim Hauraney, we had to get our guy on here with the news of Christian Horner getting the boot from Red Bull. And John Hodge, 3 Down Nation, will go around the CFLs. The Elks get set to take on the BC Lions on Sunday. We also got some news from practice there as well. So it's going to be a fun show. And Koob, I will not lie to you, my friend. I've felt better.
Yeah, you're feeling better. Well, you're feeling pretty good yesterday at the EST Golf Classic. You had the tank top on, basking in the sun. You and Benny were whipping around and stuff like that. You guys were a part of the combine crew for that tourney, right?
Those guys are beauties.
They are. Matching T-shirts and all.
It was fun. It was fun. It was great. I mean, it's just my first golf tournament ever. It's stupid to say, but I didn't even golf. But I was with Benny there driving around, lots of drinks were had. I blame a lot of that on Tony from BP's because he was just ahead of us. And every time I saw him, Koob, he was like, we got to do a drink. We got to have a shot. We got to do this. We got to do that. No, I'm a grown man. I can't say no, but I was feeling good. It was great, great vibes. Too much mixture, though, everybody was kind of offering you this and that. So, yeah, today was a little rough. Last night, got home around 7 and it was... Yeah, you and Dusty were at the final table. I think Wolf and Trevor there when I was wrapping up. Uke was still there. So everyone was starting to flood out after all the prizes were given away. Maddie did a great job. So just fantastic. Yes.
Got to give him that round of applause. He put it all together. It's one of his dreams. I think last year he really wanted to put it together, which he did. The first annual, not the inaugural, and then now the second annual EST Golf Classic at the ranch. So Murray was good too. Food was great. Like everything was put together so nicely. All of our sponsors, thank you so much for being a part of all the fun. It made for a great day. And Trev said it was his best time ever golfing, and he's gone to golf trips with his buddy. And I'm surprised to hear that was your first tourney. You never participated at the old place?
No, because someone had to stay back and produce the shows because we were still on air. So I always got, I was kind of the
short end of the stick.
I was the newer guy, so I had to stay back. And then COVID shut everything down, right? And then they just never re-upped it. So it was fantastic. Like you said, the food, great. The dinner was awesome. Loved their potatoes. Just... driving around the different spots there, the tacos for the River Cree Resort and Casino were fantastic. I don't know if you had them, Koob, the chicken tacos.
I can never pass up tacos. That was our first stop too. So, I didn't, it was too early in the day for me to have like a breakfast. So it really got me going and it fueled me up personally a terrible round, but it gave me the motivation to help my team and inspire them. I was with, Bones and his buddy Jeff as well, and Mop, and then his buddy Joe. So they golfed great. I was part of their 5-some, and they sacrificed me actually at the Expedia Cruises hole where you had to wear the floaty.
Oh, okay, yeah,
the pink
that's
flamingo,
right. Yes,
and there might have been a couple mulligans on that hole. I couldn't even see it. First time I set it up, it was in the way of my shot, so I couldn't even see my ball. I'm like, what am I doing here? But it was a great time all around. Got a nice little tan going on my arms. I'm quite pasty and white. I mean, I'm inside all day. I'm like a little gremlin here producing, but it was a good show.
What a fun day. Like, you couldn't ask for a better day weather-wise. I had the poutine. I had pizza, BP's, which is it's always great.
How many slices?
I only had one.
You only had one?
Yeah.
I had two. I double dipped. Yeah.
You double
I had a
dipped.
little small pepperoni, and the girl serving it was like, this one's a little small. It's the last pepperoni we have. You want a pizza? And I'm like, yes, of course I do. So it was good. Saw Boom Boom over there too. Gager was laughing. He didn't even make fun of me when he saw my swing. I was waiting for the hearty chuckle from Gager when I was teeing off, and he's like, Zach, I thought it would be atrocious, but it actually wasn't that bad. So I proved him wrong.
It was good. Sat with the Nielsen family for a bit and probably annoyed them. But it was fun. It was great. Great to see everybody. Meeting you nasties, right? I don't know them all. I know you by your handle on the nasty chat or what you text in. So great to meet a lot of you. You guys are a big reason why we're here. You guys are absolutely fantastic. We love the support you guys show us, and I hope you guys all had fun. What was your favorite part of the golf tournament? Was it someone in your group? Was it a shot? Because in our group, one of the Combine boys made a wicked shot. Which food was the best? Which drink did you like? Did you make a deal with Tony from BP's on David Tomasek scoring 25 goals?
I bet a few people did, pun intended. But 25 goals, that's the easiest bet Dusty has ever made in his life. And he even said it on the Nielsen show. But at least he was in a good mood, Tony, even though...
well, it started with me. Because like I said, we were really close. We were behind them for the golf tourney. And he said, okay, I'm going to take you up on this bet. And it's free food for a year. Okay? Free dinner for a year. So all I said, Koob, was go tell Tommy what you just told me. And then I've just found out he has deals with everybody. So Tony might be in a little bit of trouble.
Hopefully he remembered them all too. Right? Somebody comes up, hey, do I get free BPs for a year after that? Somewhere in, February or whatnot, towards the end of the season next year. But it was a great time all around, man. That was awesome. I wish it could happen again today.
Have you ever stared into Big Hugh's eyes?
I always do. He's a beautiful man. He's a molten mound of magma, as Reed likes to say. He's good stuff.
I could have had the wine eyes, but I just found them really nice yesterday.
Yeah,
maybe it was the sun, maybe the way the sun was hitting his eyes.
Yeah, and his nice, lush, full beard.
If you've never looked at Big Hugh's eyes, I suggest you do. Again, could have been the wine eyes by Hernan there. So we'll see what's going on. But like I said, lots to get to, lots of news from around the world of sports. The Jays are playing right now. They're looking for their 11th straight win, which would be, I think, tops in their franchise. So it's going to be a fun show as we roll along here. The day after the EST Classic, my first one, it was great. And I don't know about you, Koob, but I've been to 2 other golf courses. I found the ranch pretty difficult.
Yeah, it is difficult.
Let me say it correct. I didn't golf, but I was seeing some of these like holes and stuff, and I was like, man, those are tough shots. These poor fellas.
Well, overall, I'd say I'd say 12 to 14 of the holes are pretty high level. Like there's a handful, 3 or 4, maybe 5 that are pretty, I wouldn't say expert level, but they are very challenging, and you have to hit your shot right or else you've screwed it all up. So there was one magic hole. I think it was hole 8. I was talking to Murray afterwards. Last year, because I was a part of a foursome, so this time around I was just the extra. They didn't have to use all 3 of my shots or minimum 3 of my tee-offs. I did a really good iron last time, and I sucked at golf. I mean, I still do, but they actually used it, did a good putt, so it was my magic hole. And then this year around, I hit like a 25-foot, like a pretty long putt. My group got hyped. So I actually impacted the game somehow.
Nice.
Finished 7 or 8 under. So
good for you.
Yeah,
man.
overall, like I've been to Rundle, which is not an overly difficult course. It is a par 3 course. It's a little fun one, wide open and stuff. Been to Vic too, but it's pretty up there. I love the views at the ranch. So like how the sun was shining when you drive past the water. It was great, man. I would just sit there on the patio and enjoy the view. It was that good.
It was absolutely fantastic. It was great. It was just a great day. You put in some solid hours drinking from the morning to the afternoon, and then your evening is pretty rough. I'll just leave it at that. But let's get to it. This news broke yesterday as we were just wrapping up the golf tournament. Everybody was getting their Ubers and getting their cars and heading home. But the Edmonton Oilers, which this was rumored for about 2 weeks, right? Like you kept hearing Ike Howard and tied with the Oilers, and they finally get the deal done as they ship off Sam O'Reilly. I know my co-host, my buddy Joaquin Gage, won't be happy about that. Sam O'Reilly's got a bright future. He was really good this year in training camp, played a couple preseason games, had an excellent season with the London Knights. So, but in order to get a player that you're really high on, and many are, if you heard the morning show, Craig Button comparisons to a Clayton Keller, which would be amazing. I mean, a lot of people are hyped about this player. Sure. I'll be honest. I truly don't know much about Ike Howard. Till his name came up a couple weeks ago, I didn't know, but I know Benny and Trav have been tracking this, and they're really, really high on this guy. So in order to get a good young player that's going to play right away, because Sam O'Reilly might be still a year or two away, right? But I'm intrigued to see how these two careers work out, right? We'll look down 10 years down the road and be like, was it the right move? Was it not the right move, right? So for me, you can look at Ike Howard, and that's all I can go off because I've never watched him play. And I'm being completely honest because I don't want to fill you with bull. And then come November, you're going to be like, Hernan, he only has 1 goal. Maybe he has 10. Who the hell knows? But he's coming off a season at Michigan State University where he had 37 games played. He had 52 points. He won the Hobie Baker Award. We'll get to a list of that as well as we go through the show here. But, I mean, left winger, 21 years old. He's a first-round pick for the Lightning. Interesting, and I don't know why he didn't want to sign there. That kind of is interesting as well. He's got swag, Coop. Well, what's his nickname?
The Iceman. He does have swag, and he showed up to that 2022 draft. He was picked 31st overall, of course, by the Lightning, and he was wearing a white tux, or a white suit, a great looking color, like a cream or off-white or eggshell white, whatever you want to call it, with a blue turtleneck, and he had the chain. It looked sharp. He's a pretty good-looking guy, if I do say so myself, and he said, I'm the best-looking guy here, so I might as well have showed up looking the best as well. And from then on, when he was drafted, I kind of did the same thing Benny and Trev did, and I'm like, well, if you have the words to say that you're the best-looking guy here, you better look good on the ice, too, and he surely does. He's got a zipper of a shot, man, from the Michigan Spartans. He was on fire last year. Of course, Hobie Baker winner, 37 games played, 26 goals, 26 assists to boot for 52 total points. But, man, like, he's an offensive talent, that's for sure. He loves that right side of the net, kind of dry-sidle spot. He gets that shot off in a moment, so he can get off quick. He can make plays, too. He's got pretty good hockey IQ, but the one gripe and thing that you could have against him is his defensive play, but he is still young at just 21 years of age. So he's got a long ways to go. He's the same age as me.
And I know everybody's kind of like penciling him in here and slotting him. For me, I'm going to wait till camp and see where he fits in. Now, the Oilers obviously were really high on him. They really wanted him. Hobie Baker Award winner. I mean, that's pretty big. That's pretty damn big. But again, I don't want to feed you BS because I don't know this player. Like I said, the young guys have been tracking him a little bit more than me. So for me, I'm going to wait and see. I mean, is he a lock to be in the top 6? I wouldn't say a lock. I think he's going to get a great opportunity to play in the top 6 here because the Oilers, again, don't have a ton of money. They're not bringing anyone big in. They can't trade a large part of the guys that have value on their team. So these are the kind of deals you got to work out and hope it works out. And again, we're hoping. What's the ceiling here, guys? Like, are we talking 10, 15, 20 goals? And that's why it's hard to judge now because, we always say, well, they can play with Leon and McDavid. Not everybody can, guys. And you've seen it. Not everybody can come in and play with those two. What if it doesn't work? What if he has to play on the third line? What if they have to go with the 2 big dogs on the first line? 97 and 29, and he has to play with Nuge. Is he going to be able to produce? Right? It's going to go up and down for him. He's still a young player, but that's why it's very intrigued. I'm very intrigued about this player. Very intrigued. But again, I'm not. We already got claims he's going to score 30. He's going to win the Calder. All these crazy things that we haven't even seen him play with the team yet. So I don't even want to put a number on it. But I don't want to put a number on it because I don't what if he scores 20? What if he can only do 10 goals? Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
He seems like a skilled guy who would be able to click in this Oilers lineup in that top 6 role, but the transition from playing NCAA right into pros in the NHL level. He hasn't even made his debut yet, right? And you brought up the fact, like, why did he want to be moved from Tampa Bay? And I believe it was Eric Friesen on the morning show at 6:30. The Smash Hit Nielsen show from 6 to 9 a.m. here with Lieutenant Eric Dustin Nielsen. He was saying that it was because he wanted to play in the NHL. He felt that he was ready, and Tampa Bay just didn't have the cap space to sign him.
Really?
They could have waited to accrue that cap space towards the end of the season, play him in the last couple games, is what Friesen said. But he wanted to play, so they made the move. And from both sides, it looks like a fair deal right now. But you can't say anything until both of those players hit the ice at the National Hockey League level, right?
Yeah,
that's the most intriguing part about these moves, is because they're younger players. They're not even close. They haven't broken into the NHL yet. They're still prospects, and second best Oilers prospect and Sam O'Reilly getting shipped out down to Tampa. It's a good trade right now. Like I see why the Oilers wanted to make a move for this Howard guy, because he's eager to play, and players like that,
he's got to earn it though, Coop.
He's got to earn it. You can't be given that spot, right?
Got to earn it.
It's easy to say, well, he's there, and Matt Savoy should be cracking the lineup as well. But I'm excited to see how things shake down with the Oilers' forward depth now, because everyone was cracking down on Bowman, and not everybody, but there could have been more that could have happened. They were kind of cap restricted, but on an entry-level deal now, Howard inking the contract with the Oilers once he was traded, man. They got the option, right? They got those options, so it's going to be good.
YouTube Trev says he'll be on Power Play 1 come December. I don't know about that. That's the thing, right? Like, rookie, man. Like, that's where we're putting our faith in a rookie to come in here and produce in the top 6 on a Stanley Cup contending team. Listen, I'm very intrigued by this player. I don't know much about him, but by all sounds, he can score. He's got a good attitude. He's got some swagger. It's never a bad thing. But again, I'm going to pump the brakes on this just a bit. Yeah, he's probably going to be on the team, but I'm not ready to lock him in on a power play or on the line. We got to wait and see. Matt Savoy's a big one. He's going to push. The famous David Tomasek. I'm already seeing people putting out lines and stuff, and Tomasek's already out. He's like the 13th forward. So, Tony from BP's, if you're listening, you might be in a little bit of trouble. What do you guys think? Like, honestly, like if you don't know, just say, Hernan, I don't know. I'm kind of with you. I'm intrigued. We'll see what happens come September. Or are you a big college guy? Do you watch college hockey? Have you watched this guy play? Let us know. What are his like strongest weapons, right? Everybody's saying he's got a good shot. Obviously, he can think the game at a high level. He scored 52 points last year. So for me, it's going to be a wait and see. I think he will play here, though. And I was looking at Tampa Bay. Yeah, their top 6 is pretty loaded. They got $1.1 million in cap space. So I tried to get someone that watched this guy regularly in college, but no one responds, Coop. No one wants to join the show and talk about Ike. Oh, because he wants to be called Ike, right?
That is right. Yeah. Tommy was saying that earlier. I wasn't aware, but yeah, Ike Howard. So,
Ike Howard. I like Isaac, though. Isaac's such a nice name.
Isaac's cool, man. Just call him Ike the Iceman.
I don't know about the Iceman, man.
Take a hike with the Iceman, no? Could be something. I don't know. I'm thinking.
Did he give himself that nickname, or was it some like a broadcast guy? Or
I'm actually not too sure, but either way, man, like I think it's a cool nickname, right? Yeah. One of the coolest out there, if you ask me, because he's got that drip for sure.
Smitty the Welder says Howard will be on the Power Play 1 coming out of camp. Book it. But why? Who are you taking out, Nuge? Is that the move here? Again, I've never seen him play on the Power Play, so I don't know. Let me know, Smitty. Like, is it for Nuge, or is it in front of the net? Because the other 3 ain't coming out. The other 3 will not come out. So, yeah. Isaac Howard, the newest member of the Edmonton Oilers. He met with the media. We'll hear a few clips coming up next as well. I want to get your thoughts. You guys excited? Are you kind of more like Hernan, more kind of like cautiously optimistic about this? And we'll see what happens here. But I'm not going to do lines at this point because who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? So, hey, we're coming to you live from the William Huff Studios here. It's just me and Koob today. Joaquin Gage is off. think he's, I don't even know where he is, but he'll be back tomorrow. And of course, we're going to talk some CFL in the second hour. F1 with the big news that Christian Horner's out at Red Bull. That's a blockbuster move right there, man. So we'll get Tim Hauraney's thoughts. Hernan Salas, it's going to be a fun one. Start thinking video games. Video games for Hernan Salas, as always, presented by the Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf Club. Edmonton Sports Talk is brought to you by Play Alberta. Why limit your choices when you can have it all? Play Alberta is your go-to app for casino games, sports betting, and lottery all in one place. With easy access to real money games, you can enjoy everything Alberta has to offer right at your fingertips. Download Play Alberta now and start playing today. Hit us up on the Nasty Chat, slam that thumbs up, and text us River Korean Box 780-218-9999. We're back after the break here. More on Ike Howard and the Edmonton Oilers.
Right now, the Jays are underway in the top of the fourth against the White Sox. Trying to tie a franchise record for the most wins in a row. Toronto up 1-0 right now, entering the midway point of the fourth inning. Elsewhere, there's one other game live. The Dodgers and Brewers runless in the top of the fifth inning. And later, we have a lot more action. Phillies and Giants first pitch at 1:45, while the Yankees meet the Mariners just after 5 o'clock. And on the road, the Riverhawks play the Bells at 7:35. Edmonton losing 8-6 yesterday to Bellingham. Elsewhere, we see the 14-20 Cactus Rats take on the Fort Mac Giants, looking to get back in the win column on a one-game losing streak. In hockey, projected first overall pick in 2026, Gavin McKenna has officially committed to Penn State in the NCAA. McKenna, last season with the Tigers down in Medicine Hat, was named the CHL Player of the Year, potting 41 goals and 88 assists for 129 points in 56 games. WNBA action as 2 games wrapped up, 2 games on tap. Lynx and Mercury tip off before the Wings play the Sky. This sports update is brought to you by the Edmonton Elks. This Sunday, the Elks host the Lions as they seek revenge for their Week 1 loss. Kickoff goes at 5 o'clock. Tickets are on sale now at $20, starting at $20. Get your tickets now at GoElks.com. More conversation regarding Ike Howard, the newest Oiler, brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Koob, keeping you up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Keegan Matheson, he's an author. Jays are just so red hot right now.
It's a complete 180 from last year. The energy around this team, how players talk about the clubhouse, and I'm around it a lot. It's way different. I can't believe that they are at this point already. I thought they were a 500 ball club. This is what it looks like when everything goes right. It's been really impressive.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by South Ford Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Kayaks, bikes, camping gear? Make space for summer fun with Sentinel Storage. Spend more time on adventures with your outdoor gear and less time looking for them. Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
The Canadian Brewhouse is turning up the flavor this summer with our new summer feature menu. Try our jerk chicken skewers, Cajun shrimp tostadas, and street corn salsa. Bold bites made for patio season. Get them while it's hot. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Summer in Edmonton means 3 things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YAG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YAG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Live? Hey, it's 126. Welcome back to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Hit that thumbs up for us. Hit us up on the Nasty Chat. River Cree inbox 780-218-99. Like always, the River Cree Resort, the afternoon inbox is brought to you by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Check out Tap 25 Restaurant, where you can get their prime rib special for just $18.99. It's available 7 days a week from 11:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. You know what's interesting about... I said I wouldn't do Oilers lines, but it does create an interesting little move here, because does RNH need to be in the top 6 as a winger with McDavid? What say you? You move him down to the bottom 6. But then you have to go with Podkolzin in your top 6, and I love Podkolzin, but not for the top 6. So it's interesting, because I'm seeing some lines people are putting on. A lot of them have Howard with McDavid, sure, but that means Nuge's got to move down. But I also prefer Nuge over Podkolzin in the top 6. Interesting. Let's hear some clips from the newest member of the Edmonton Oilers. I wonder what he wore 22 in college, Coop. I think that's right.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Is there a 22 on the Oilers right now?
No. Who would be the last number 22 for the Oilers?
Ooh, good question. Well, I know Anson Carter wore back in the day. Who else wore 22?
I'm out to lunch, but I was going to say Tyson Barrie.
You're right.
Yeah?
Was he not 22?
Let's see here.
Pretty sure it's Tyson
I'll
Barrie.
go to Oilers numbers here.
Savoy, good one. Bronco Nick.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I guess so. They got to fight over it.
Quinn Hudson.
Oh, did he wear 24 though? I thought he wore a different number. That's just me.
Hudson wore 20, says Aiden. Yeah, so Savoy's the last one. Tyson Barrie's right up there. Okay, cool. It's available. He can wear it. So, yeah, it's, at least it's another forward. You're not banking on Curtis Lazar and Thomas Eck to be everyday guys, right? So, I think it's going to change a little in that aspect. But like I said, let's get to some clips from the newest member, Ike Howard, and this is just him on the opportunity he's going to get in Edmonton.
Yeah, I'm super psyched. It's such an unreal opportunity. I'm grateful that Tampa was able to make this done. And I can't wait to get started. And definitely such a cool place. And couldn't be happier.
That was Ike Howard there on the opportunity to come to Edmonton. Reed Wilkins, I'm pretty sure, asked his questions. There's been a lot of rumblings surrounding this player for the last couple of weeks. So this is Ike Howard on just the last 2 weeks and all the noise surrounding him.
Yeah, it was definitely a unique time. I was back at school, training to go back. Obviously, I knew there was a possibility of a trade. I didn't want to put all my chips in one basket, obviously. And so I was here, just training, trying to be with the team and stuff and be grounded. And, I kind of found out of the blue a little bit last night, pretty much maybe an hour before everyone else. So it was a super cool moment. I knew, I met with Edmonton and, this was probably the spot I wanted to go. It just checks all my boxes. And I knew if there was somehow it could happen, I would absolutely love it. And, so when I found that out, I was just super pumped up and couldn't be happier.
Super pumped, Coop. He's super pumped to be coming to Edmonton. Why wouldn't you? You're going to get a great opportunity to play with the two best players on the planet.
On a fantastic franchise, historically, he'll probably look like one of the best players out there in blue and orange, perhaps as well, right? It's a good color.
Yeah. It's just, yeah.
Just everything. Even getting the chance to, be in the same room as Connor McDavid would just be thrilling, right?
Yeah. But we'll see how things go. Because he's going to go through a rough patch. This is the media here is there's a lot when it comes to the Edmonton Oilers for sure. And I'm always intrigued to see these young guys how they handle it. Now, He's playing in a big college. Like we already said, it looks like he has a little bit of spunk. He's got all the confidence in the world, which is, for me, it's a good thing. So we'll see. One last clip here from Mr. Ike Howard. This is just on his kind of style, the work ethic he talks about, and how he plans to use that to fit into the Oilers' top 6.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why I was so excited about this fit. I watched every single Oilers playoff game the last couple of years. I think just watching, it's like it's such a high pace, skilled and fast, work ethic first. I think that's kind of exactly my game, and I think that's why this could be such a great fit, and why I was really excited.
All right, he's saying all the right things. We'll see him in September when boys get together for that early kind of non-official skate, and then we'll see him into the preseason. And it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. Him and Savoy are gonna push for sure. 100%. I don't know about Hudson. I think he will start in the A. David Tomasek, again, nothing against him. We're intrigued to see him. 29-year-old Euro guy coming over. Hasn't worked out the best usually, but we'll see. And for Tony's sake, it better work out. So, Hobie Baker winner. Other players, Celebrini, Cole Caulfield, of course, the great Cale Makar, Will Butcher, Jimmy Vesey, Jack Eichel. Go a little bit down here. Chris Jury, Brian Holzinger. There's a name from the past for sure. So there's something there. I mean, you look at this list, and a lot of these guys, they made the show and had pretty successful careers. So I guess you're in Oil City, where we're kind of hoping for the same, that this kid can come in and solidify a spot in the top 6. Chip in. And the best part of it, guys and gals, is that it's he comes in cheap for 3 years, right? You signed the entry-level deal right away as soon as the Oilers made the trade. And that's exactly what a team like the Oilers needs, where they can't go out and get the big fish, the top 6 guy, because they don't have the money to, because of the salary cap. Now, it's going to increase here as we get into next year and the year after that. I know that. But to have this guy in entry-level years, and he can maybe produce anywhere from 10 to 20 goals for you right off the hop, I think that's pretty good. I truly do. Let's get to some messages here. I had a good one here. A whistle dog. Hernan, I would like to see Nuge with McDavid and Howard. He doesn't need to move down. Hyman could bump down to play with Leo. I'm sure we'll see 3,000 of possible 4,000 line combos anyway. That's, what, whistle dog? That's a good point. Because then you give Leon his winger, which is Hyman. But then again, Mangiapane plays on that side. Where do you put him? So, I mean, Knobloch, who loves to move everything around on a consistent basis, like Whistle Dog said, we're probably going to see a bunch of combos. I'm intrigued to see the first look for Howard, who he's with. And I think Knobloch prefers Hyman with McDavid. I think that's just his preference. But for me, Hyman can play with any of those guys. He doesn't change his game, right? So we'll see what happens there in terms of the lineups and all that. But it's July 9th, guys. We're not doing lines, okay? Is that okay? Katie says, the Oilers have center depth. They don't have any left winger depth. Smart trade for both organizations. Howard is more of a goal scorer than O'Reilly ever would have been. I mean, we don't know that. But you're right. I think O'Reilly's more suited to be that mid 6 guy. Like, he can moonlight in your top 6, but he's probably going to be that really good third line guy who kills penalties, does a little bit of everything for you. So, yeah, sure. And you're right. Left wing depth is not at the best right now. You got Nuge, Paul Colson. Do you want to play Frederick center? Do you want to put him on the wing? So, there's definitely nothing wrong with that. But yeah, the left wing side is a little concerning heading into the season. Why is Hernan with John Cena? I don't get that one. You get it, Koob?
Because you can't see him.
Oh.
Walking Gage, he isn't on the thummy. So I changed him out. I forgot that he wasn't going to be here today.
Okay.
So on the YouTube side of things, right, I usually put the both of the hosts who are going to be on the show. But Gager isn't on the show. It's an empty seat over there. It's a bit lonely, a bit cold. But yeah, I took him off. I made your picture bigger. So John Cena is a guest host, I guess, on the show. You can't see him.
Oh boy, that's too funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or when you wear camo, it's like, oh, are you wearing pants there today? Can't see your legs. They're gone.
Pyro says, who's to say Hyman will even be ready for the start of the season? It's a good point, too. That's why I don't want to do hammer out lines right now. He might not be ready. I think he had his golf tournament this weekend, too, and I think he said he doesn't even know right now what the timeline is for him to return to play. Dislocated wrist, it was?
Yeah, something with his wrist. He had a bit of a sling on there. McDavid was out at that tourney as well, but yeah, he obviously he wasn't playing. He wasn't going to be, playing golf. He kind of pulled a Hernan. I know you weren't injured, but might have felt like it at the end of the day. Yeah, no, he said it. He doesn't really know, which is normal. I mean, as healing progresses, you recover from an injury. It could happen sooner. Could be tweaked again. Who knows? Like it means something, but deep down, it really means nothing at this point because we're so far out from the season. So we'll know in a couple months, right?
Yeah. X-Ray J says, imagine if both Howard and Thomasek can overcome and just crush it. Yeah, I mean, how about Savoy too? I'd throw him in there. Those three guys are one of them's got to take a step here. Noah Phillips included in that, but we all know Noah Phillips not going to be a big, point producing guy, right? Like he's not going to be on the power play. You're not expecting him to chip in nightly offensively. He's got to be solid defensively. He's got to kill penalties and just play the two-way game really strong. So the Oilers have 4 or 5 guys that are going to get long looks here and see what happens. And that's what's going to make training camp fun. And we'll see what Mr. Ike I don't like calling him Ike Howard. And I know that's his preference, Koob, but I don't like it.
If you ask me personally, it doesn't roll off the tongue as easy as Isaac Howard. And, it is a change up. People don't like change, right? But if it's what he prefers, sure, why not, right?
I just don't like it. I don't want to call him Ike.
Well, what kind of nicknames can you do with Ike? Ike Man? Ike Man, the Iceman? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Bronco Nick. How about our defense plays defense? Dare to dream. Sure. How about our top players play defense? A little bit more consistently. Jasmine, Isaac is such a nice name. Yeah. Why would you want to go to Ike? Makes no sense to me. Call him I Howard. Fruitcaster 1990. Oh, boy. Let's see. Let's check in the River Korean box. Nolan, Howard is an elite skater. Nude should be absolutely piloting the third line. That's from Nolan. RCN says, no, Koob. Howard wanted to play at the end of last season, and Tampa didn't have the space. That and the fact they're stacked on the wing is why he wanted out. Tampa wanted him on their NHL roster this season, and he said he was going back to school and going UFA next summer. Interesting, RCN. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to defend that by saying technically I wasn't wrong.
No, you weren't wrong.
But there was that other element that, yes, I forgot to mention that he wanted to go back to school and play with Michigan State with the Spartans.
The Spartans. Alicia says, put Howard on PP1 for Hyman if he's not ready to go. I think that's the general consensus here. This one, no name, says, no. It says, hopefully Howard lives up to the hype. Sounds to me like he is a baby. Can't have my way, so I don't want to play there. Also not sold on Savoy. I don't think he will be with the Oilers longer than the first 20 games. Should we not be getting bigger, not smaller? Casey and high level. Good question. I mean, if you want to compete with the Florida Panthers of the world, I mean, this roster ain't it. And nothing against the smaller guys, but you need to get bigger and guys that can play, right? Like, I'm not just saying go get a bunch of guys that just go out there and muck it up. Obviously, you have to be able to play. So I don't disagree with that, Casey, in high level. Yeah, they're probably going to be a lot smaller this year. Vicky Sparks, RNH is a third-line center. It seems like he's trending that way. And I have time for it. Like, he does all the little things. That 100-point season, that's the anomaly, right? Like, that's never going to happen again. He won't get close to it. But he's a good player, man. He's a good player. Sometimes he just needs to pick it up a bit more in the playoffs. But RNH is your third-line center. I think you have a pretty good forward group. But we'll see what Knob does if he just wants to keep him in the top 6. With that line, that's pretty reliable with Hyman and McDavid, but We shall wait and see. And one last look here at the nasty chat. Max Bazooza says, I mean, last year's roster wasn't it either. Like, I like their roster in the playoffs. I'll be honest. Like, I thought they were going to win the cup.
When you get Kane back and you get Frederick in the mix, Klingberg is clicking. You have depth in really every piece, right? The Black Aces were still there, right? Matt Savoy, Noel Philp, like some guys who didn't even see the ice who would be rostered perhaps on other teams. So they definitely had a strong core
and that's
the whole way through.
That's the thing, Coop, because
Well, the question is, does size matter in the NHL? And I know, like, if you look at the draft recently, and this is a context here, a lot of the defensemen drafted were over like 6'2". Like there were some huge players being drafted, so there might be a shift back from a skilled player over the other way. But the Edmonton Oilers are a skilled team, and they have Frederick. They do have those bigger bodies like Podkolzin. He can throw it around. Hyman's a little wrecking ball when he gets going. So I don't think they're going to be smaller, but I don't think that's going to take away from their heavier players really making an impact. Well, it just adds skill to the lineup.
Well, you're expecting Boston Trent Frederick. Okay, so when that's a win, you're not going to get Enrique's not physical, Savoy's not physical, Kapanen's not physical. Janmark can be. I like Mangiapane. I think he's got some jam. Podkolzin is. Nuge is not. Hyman's a wrecking ball. McDavid and Draisaitl, when they're on, they could be at the best with hitting. So, yeah, that's a good point though. Like the physicality could still be there. They just might not be as big, right? Evander Kane, Trent Frederick, those are big boys, man. Rip City Step. Hernan liked Pods and Kapanen in the top 6 all last year. Oh. Rip City Step. I don't need this today. If Kapanen's in your top 6, how much time you got? A whole whack of other problems. We'll continue with your messages. Of course, on the Nasty Chat, slam that thumbs up for us. Quick update from the Blue Jays game. They're down 2-1. Bottom of the 5th here. We'll keep you updated on that. They're going for 11 straight wins, as they said, first in the AL East. Hour 2, we got to talk about Horner leaving Red Bull, or being fired, pretty much. John Hodge from 3 Down Nation will do our weekly check-in as the CFL kicks off on Friday. Of course, the Edmonton Elks in action on Sunday, 5 o'clock down at Commonwealth Stadium. Make sure to go to the game. We'll have some tickets to give away tomorrow on the show, so stay tuned then for that. We'll have some fun trivia or something like that. But coming up next, Hernan's World for the Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf Club. That's all coming up here on EST Afternoons. Portion of this hour brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. 2 new wing flavors just dropped at the CBH for a limited time. 50-yard barbecue versus cherry cola. Which one scores big with your taste buds? Try them anytime or for 69 cents on Wing Wednesdays. Hey, and it's Wednesday. The Canadian Brew House, our house, is your house. Here's Koob, Sports Update.
The Jays are looking for 11 straight wins to tie the franchise record. Right now, they're down 2-1 to the White Sox in the bottom of the 5th inning. Nathan Lukes with a hit. Bo Bichette with 2, having Will Wagner with the run for Toronto. And it's Braden Fisher on the hill for Toronto. No outs right now for Chicago with a runner on second base. Elsewhere, the Dodgers hold the Brewers 1-0, top of the 6th. And in just a moment, Phillies and Giants get underway. First pitch at 1:45 and about in the next coming minutes here before the Mets battle the Orioles and the Marlins take on the Reds. Well, for the Riverhawks, they play the Bells after losing 8-6 last night against Bellingham. First pitch for that one is at 7:35, and the Bells hold top spot in the North Division at 21-13 on the season. Edmonton sitting 2 games back. Elsewhere in Fort Mac, Cactus Rats and Giants go toe-to-toe. Energy City dropping their last game to the Giants 5-2 yesterday. First pitch at 7:05. While in the WNBA, the Lynx and Mercury are underway in the first, mini up 9-4 with about 4 minutes left in the quarter. After that, it's the Wings and Sky having a date. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated since 1993. They're more than just plywood. They offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. Windsor Plywood Leduc. They're the experts you need to know. Up next, it's Hernan's World, presented by the Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf and Country Club. I'm Zachary Koob Kubusch, keeping you in the loop.
The EST Hangout.
There's a lot of people like, we gotta go get this guy. And I'm like, I'll probably argue that the majority of those people forgot about him or didn't know anything about him. So it sounds like this kid's a player. I'm curious to see how he's gonna do. I want to see him have success. I want to see that the Oilers hockey ops went and helped bolster this lineup. But I'm not ready to just be like, that's the guy.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
River Creek Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly. Featuring small band and acoustic performances, Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly in the venue, July 25th. Tickets at rivercreekresort.com.
River Creek Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
It's 1:48. Welcome back to EST Afternoons here on this Wednesday. Oilers making some news yesterday evening, acquiring Ike Howard for Sam O'Reilly, friend of the show. I missed that. Remember he joined us last year?
That was great. Yeah, he was. What was that during the summer? No,
I think it was like early in the season.
Yeah.
It was very early
fresh
in the
off
season.
getting picked, and he was a very nice guy. I mean, over the phone, like
because we
sounded happy to be on, man.
We talked to him about camp. Remember?
Yes. Yeah, that was a good appearance. Friend of the show.
Will
always be. One's a friend, always a friend. Endlessly supportive team.
In 10 years, we're going to compare these two. Hopefully, Koob, we're still working together.
Well, you might be in Mexico by then.
Whoa! Why Mexico?
I don't know. I mean, you might be anywhere. You could be in Cuba, just enjoying the heat.
I'm just bugging you, man.
What are you trying to say there, Koob? No.
All right, let's get to Hernan's World, brought to you by the Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf Club. Fall in for flavor and fairways. Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf Club is open to the public with Twilight Golf specials that go easy on your wallet and wings so good they should be on a parade. Hit the course, crush some wings, and soak in the sunset. Visit EGMGolf.com to book your round today. Well, young Koob, I know we got a lot of gamers that like to listen to us and watch us. If you're listening, iHeart, TuneIn Radio apps, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, slide on over and hit that thumbs up for us. Did you know, Koob, that on this day, 44 years ago today, the video game, the original Donkey Kong, was released?
Well, Hernan, fun fact, I actually did know that. No, you told me before the show, but I was actually surprised. 44 years ago?
44 years ago.
It actually came out before Mario. That was Mario's very first appearance, was in Donkey Kong. Right? You always remember that first level, right? You have to go up. He's tossing barrels at you. You got to save the princess, who is Princess Peach. The lore goes pretty deep there, Hernan. I've been down some rabbit holes.
I was never big Donkey Kong video game guy. I'll be honest.
Okay, yeah. Well, I didn't play too
I
much
will
either.
be honest, okay?
I appreciate the honesty there, Hernan.
C-Run, on July 9th, 2035, we know what Hernan's World is going to be airing. All right, so speaking of video games, Koob, you're a big gamer. I used to be. You can only play 3 games for the rest of your life. Only 3 games. It can be a system game. It can be a stand-up arcade game. It could be whatever. If you can only play 3 video games for the rest of your life, what will your 3 be?
Man, like so many games went through my mind. And Hernan, I do have one question. Could it be a game series so I can play, say they have 5 different games?
No, one game.
It has to be the specific one, like the second or third. Oh boy. Okay. Well, you know, this is the biggest game of all time. And it is factually Minecraft.
Oh.
Minecraft is on that list, and it is made for kids. It's basically Lego in a virtual world. You get to do anything you really want. And if you're a nerd like me, nerd alert, you have a computer where you can get mods for it too. So it changes the game from what they call the vanilla game. I'm getting way too dorky here, boys, but you could really do anything in that game.
Okay.
You could create your own world and stuff like that. You can download things online that changes the game entirely. So that would be the number 1 pick for me.
It's called Minecraft?
Minecraft. Yes.
Okay.
It's a highest selling game.
I've heard of it.
Most people play it. Probably your nieces or something play that game, but it's a hoot and something to play with friends, right? If you're only stuck with 3 games, you want to play something with your buddies. You don't want to play those solo games forever, right? Because there's a lot of like solo story games and stuff like that. So that would be my first game for sure.
Mine would be Mario Kart, the original.
The original?
Like that game never gets boring, never gets old. You can do all the levels. You can play all the you know, because you can play 3 different kind of levels, right? The 50, the 100, the 150. There's so many different courses you can do, but that game's just never gets old. You can change your driver. It's just, overall, it's just fun, Koob. I think Mario Kart's one of the best games out there. Tommy's always playing it here on our arcade machine. He's the one that plays that probably the most. I've dabbled in it a few times, but Mario Kart for me has to be on the list if I could only have 3 video games. What's number 2 for you, Koob?
Number 2 for me now, that this might be cheating a bit. I'm going to say Grand Theft Auto 6. It's not supposed to come out until the fall, I believe, or next spring or something like that, but it's been in the works for years. And Rockstar Games, they've made a plethora of grade A, platinum, AAA titles in the gaming world. GTA 5, the second highest selling game of all time. Either GTA 6, or if I can't pick a game that isn't out yet, I would go GTA 5, because once again, it's an online world. Story's great. You can get mods and stuff like that. Like, when a game's so good, it feels like a movie.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff I enjoy. Like, that story mode in the 5th game is great, and it looks like they're going to do great things with the 6th one. They released nothing but bangers, so it's got to be Grand Theft Auto 6 once it releases.
I like how you're picking a game you haven't played yet.
Yeah, but they've done so well on that last one, right? Like, it came out in 2013, right? I was 10 years old when this game came out, and my parents, bless their heart, maybe a game that isn't for kids, but I remember getting it. It came out September 2013. I got it for my birthday in late October. Okay. I was probably the most excited I've ever been. It was like,
no, it was a cool game.
It was a great game. So like, they still update it, right? There's still a lot of community in that one. So when the 6th one comes out, I feel like it would be something that people play for up to 20 years.
All right, my number 2 is going to be, again, a little bit more old school than you, Koob. It's one of the Super Mario games, but I'm going to be specific, okay? I'm going to be very, very specific. I'm going to go Super Mario Brothers 3 is probably the best Mario game I've played. One's good because it's the original, it's legendary. 2 sucks. Super Mario 2 just sucks. But 3 is probably the best. You're going through the little mazes and you know, you have your little like map on the screen. I think that one's one of the best Super Mario games of all time. That one definitely would be on my list.
That's a good one. That's the one where you get the squirrel suit too, right?
Yeah.
That was on the video game cover on the cartridge. Yeah. My brother grew up playing that all the time, man, like on the NES and stuff like that. He's 10 years older than myself. So He showed me a lot of those great games, and yeah, that's a solid pick because that world is just so much fun. There's so much you can do, as you said. So I definitely respect that one. Now, with my third choice, and not in any particular order, but I don't know, I have to give like an honorable mention to like the Gears of War games or like Halo. I grew up on those as well. So they're Xbox games from the early 2000s and stuff like that. Have a full series of stuff there. But I'm looking around, like there's Overwatch and stuff like that, which is another team game. But one that I haven't played in a while, and I know Tommy and Trev love this game. It's Fortnite.
Oh,
it's a free game.
I've never played Fortnite in my life.
Make nothing but money off of it. Like it is a money-making machine.
You can make real money?
Oh, you don't.
Oh, okay.
The creators did. Epic Games, who are actually, they also made Gears of War, but they moved on to bigger and better things. And it is a free game, surface level, but you know, you can get fun skins. You could probably
So
be
what do you
John
do in
Cena
that game? What do you do in that game?
Well, it's what they call a battle royale. And there's other game modes too. There's custom maps, but the game, when it was released and became very popular, basically 100 online players would get dropped in this massive world that was like, say in real life, it would be like 14 kilometers by 14 kilometers wide on an island or something like that. And you're trying to get the victory royale. You want to get the most kills and stuff like that. It's an online shooting game. There's building mechanics and stuff like that. But there's also like a campaign kind of mode called Save the World. There's tons of things, man. It's a huge world, but I haven't touched that game in probably 2 years. I don't even know what they did. You can have lightsabers in that game. Like they do fun updates and promos and stuff like that. Like when I say they make money, they make nothing but money. They call them V-Bucks. Pay real dollars for fake money.
That's crazy. My number 3, I have to go with a sports game, and it's probably the best sports game on the planet. I got to go with Madden. I'll be honest, I'll take the latest one.
Not even Tecmo?
No.
Not even Tecmo?
No. I take the latest one and just roll with it until I'm gone. But yeah, the Madden games are simply the best, man. Like the visuals, the playbooks, it's truly amazing. I was going to go NHL 94, but I think you get bored after a bit, but just, I don't know, something about the Madden games that are just phenomenal. So Mario Kart, Super Mario 3, and the latest John Madden football game. Koob went with Minecraft. Let me see if I remember. Minecraft, Fortnite.
Fortnite, yep.
And the Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
The one that hasn't been out.
Hasn't been out. Or honestly, pick any of them in the series, man. They're maybe not the first two, but all the other ones are great. Yeah. I could spend a lot of time, and I have. You can look at the exact time you spent on those games. Yeah. I know people who spent over 100 days on those. Like real life time, over 100 days. So yeah. And you're just like, wow, what are these nerds doing? Do they ever go outside? The answer is probably not.
Van Owen says the latest Gran Turismo, Max Pazuzu, Super Mario Brothers 3. Great minds think alike. Tetris. Cuphead, whatever that is.
Cuphead is like, oh man, like those Transylvania games, like those platformer kind of puzzle games.
Oh, okay.
Sort of like that. They have missions that are very hard to beat, right? You could spend a whole hour on this one mission trying to get through this maze. It's a left to right game. It's a flat, like 2D sort of game, but it's all drawn up in old school, like, I don't know, 50s style. It's hand drawn, like animations and stuff like that. So it looks visually great, but it is a mentally challenging and frustrating game. It's really fun.
Giancarlo, Tetris, GTA, Chell. Jode says Skyrim, D&D, Neverwinter, and Doom. Zulu says Super Mario Galaxy on the Wii is top tier. Marvel Rivals is a damn fun time as well. Let's go to the inbox. River Cree inbox, that is. Bone says Red Dead Redemption, Addams Family, Pinball Machine. Pinball Machine's awesome.
Which one? The Halloween one? on the old Windows XP? Or what are we talking there? Wizard Pinball, man? Oh,
I don't know. Nolan, Hernan, are you going to the Napa 300 at Edmonton International Raceway on Saturday? It's NASCAR Pinty Series. Good fun. Ooh. I can't on Saturday, but yeah, that does sound. I do want to get out there. And the Need for Speed segment is coming up in the second hour for Rad Torque Raceway. They always got some wicked events. We'll let you know coming up throughout the year here. So, yeah, Nolan, if I could, no, but the plans have been made for Saturday. So, but like I said, I'd love to get out there. Keep sending us your top 3 video games. You can only have 3 for the rest of your life. Which ones would they be? To the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999, or hit us up on the Nasty Chat. Slam that thumbs up as well. The afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Want to check out some shows? July 25th, Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly. And then on August 7th, you can check out the Bay City Rollers. All you have to do for tickets is go to rivercreeresort.com or hit up the River Cree box office. That does it for hour 1. Lots of Ike Howard talk here on the show. Of course, the newest member of the Edmonton Oilers. We played some clips from him as well. Sam O'Reilly going back the other way. Where does he fit into the lineup? Are you cautiously optimistic, or are you over the moon happy that the Oilers got this player who's going to get a great opportunity to play in the Oilers top 6? Coming up, we're going to have some fun. John Hodge from 3 Down Nation, talk CFL, and of course, Tim Hauraney after the big news at Red Bull earlier this morning. That's all coming up here on EST Afternoons.
The Lock Shop.
If you said you're looking forward to the Esties more than the Nasty Batch,
just because I think there's a little bit more surprise at the Esties here.
I'm looking forward to the Esties as well because Reed and I are coming for that Show of the Year title.
Oh, wow. Bold call.
I said it last year.
I was just going to say, I wonder what the odds would be on Show of the Year. You know what show I know would be a long shot? This one. The Lock Shop gets no love, ever.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
The NHRA Hot Rod Heritage Rocky Mountain National return to Rantork Raceway, featuring racers from across North America in nitro funny cars, fuel altered, pro fuel Harley, alcohol dragster, and 7,000 plus horsepower jet car. The Rocky Mountain National, July 11th to 13th at Rantork Raceway, located west of Highway 2 on Highway 19 at the Edmonton International Airport, with weekend camping available. Tickets and info online at radraceway.com.
Win a trip to Osheaga with the banquet in Aperol. We're sending one lucky guest to Montreal with flights, hotel, and 2 tickets to one of Canada's hottest music festivals. Enter by July 26. Details in store or on the banquet app. Get real. Play hard.
You know Dawn. Everyone knows Dawn. Dawn from
Frontier Cartage. That's right, it's me, Dawn from Frontier Cartage, where we're setting the standard for cartage service in Edmonton and beyond, offering city cartage, Alberta highway, short haul deck, and more. My team and I are bringing our years of industry experience and expertise to every mile.
Join Dawn and her boys in a new chapter in transportation excellence, dedicated to exceptional service. Call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
The Jays are hot, 1 win away from tying the franchise record with 11 straight wins, but right now they're down 2-1 to the White Sox in the bottom of the 6th. It's Brendan Little on the mound for Toronto, 1 out for Chicago, and there's 2 other games live around the MLB. The Dodgers and Brewers are tied at 1 apiece in the top of the 7th. Well, for the Phillies, Max Kepler is at bat, 1 out for them and a runner on third. Justin Verlander pitching for the Giants. For the Riverhawks, they play the Bells after losing 8-6 last night. First pitch goes at 7:35. Bells holding top spot in the North Division at 21-13 on the season. Edmonton sits 2 games back. Elsewhere in Fort Mac, Cactus Rats and Giants go toe-to-toe. Energy City dropping their last game to the Giants 5-2 yesterday. First pitch for that one is just after 7. While in the NBA, it's the Lynx and Mercury tied at 30 aside in the second. Just about 3 minutes and 45 seconds left in that one before the Wings take on the Sky. I'm Zachary Koob Kubusch. That was your sports update. The second hour of EST Afternoon starts right now.
It's hour 2 here on EST Afternoons, live from the William Huff Studios. First hour, we went pretty heavy on Ike Howard there. We had Hernan Salas talking video games. This hour, John Hodge from 3 Down Nation, Tim Hauraney, F1 Indy Car Insider for TSN as well. And we're going to get to Inside the Numbers for Play Alberta. Play Alberta is your home for online gaming excitement, featuring casino games, live dealer action, lottery, instants, and sports betting. Now with the new Play Alberta app, you can take the fun with you anywhere. Download the app or sign up today. PlayAlberta.ca. Remember, for the bonus codes, you gotta reload them. That's it for the month of July. He's reloaded.
Reloaded.
So if you want to get in on that, do so. Okay, so we got some news for Inside the Numbers around the CFL. 1 game suspension for BC Lions defensive line Kimoko Ture, and fines for Alouettes Isaac Adeyemi Berglund, MJ Sherman, and Pierre Olivier Lestage following the fight last week after the Owls and Lions game. I'm surprised the Owls players just got fines, because there's 2 dudes in there throwing some haymakers. Now, they didn't start it, sure, but they still threw some punches, so I'm a little intrigued why the BC Lion, who went over to their side and picked a fight, sure, but the other guys were throwing punches too, and they connected. Like, that was a good little scrap there out there in Montreal. So fines for the Alouettes players, 1 game suspension for the BC player there, which is very interesting. The Elks just sent out their injury report for day 1. Some good and some bad here for Inside the Numbers regarding the. Sounds like David Beard was back at practice, limited. He's been taken off the 6th game, so he could play Sunday. It's not confirmed, but he could. Okay? The concerning part, Javon Leake, who had an excellent game last Sunday, did not practice. Quad. Robbie Smith, one of the highest paid defensive, if not the highest paid defensive player in the league, he did not practice. Elbow. And you saw him in the game. If you were at the game or you saw glimpses of it on TV, he was in the tent and they wrapped that sucker up and he had the ice on it. So that's 2 very, very, very key players for this Elks team. And it's only day 1. We still got a few more days to go here. Let's see if they can get on the field. It's interesting, though, because Javon Leake he went to the dressing room at halftime with 2 minutes left, right? He was walking in there. He looked a little bit in pain. I think he landed on the ball, kind of hurt his ribs or something like that. Then he came out and played the rest of the game. We saw him after the game. He looked fine. So this is very, very interesting what happens here. And then the Robbie Smith was obviously very noticeable. You knew he didn't come back. So it's one of those things. So we'll wait and see. But good news, David Beard. Sure. Bad news, Javon Leake coming off probably his best game second best game. His best game was last year in Regina. So, and Robbie Smith, one of their biggest offseason acquisitions. So we'll see what happens here. We'll continue to track this as, again, they're at home Sunday against the BC Lions. Nathan Rourke, Trey Ford, round 2. Rourke won the first one in week 1, but I think teams are a little bit different. BC, of course, without Rourke for a handful of games there, and the I was going to say the Oilers. The Elks are finding their groove. They truly are. If they can build off last week, that'd be enormous for them. Absolutely enormous. And we're going to have a 4-pack of tickets to give away tomorrow on this show once Joaquin Gage is back. So be ready for that. We'll have some fun trivia as well. Keep slamming that thumbs up. Hit us up on the River Korean Box, 780-218-9999. And on the Nasty Chat. Koob wants to test my Oiler knowledge right now. So I'm going to give him the opportunity to, because it's just us two. We're running the show. Koob, what you got for me?
Yeah, so, well, we're talking about it a bit earlier. We're not sure what number Ike Howard would wear, and he rocked number 22 this past season with the Spartans in Michigan. And there's been 14 players all time on the Oilers who have worn number 22. I want to see how many Hernan can name. We've talked about a couple on the show already.
So I'll start with those. Anson Carter.
Yep.
Tyson Barrie.
Barrie is a yes.
Savoy,
yeah. He will probably, keep that number, I'd imagine.
Charlie Huddy.
Good pull. There's 4 of 14.
Roman Hammerlick.
Wow. Yeah, from 99 to 2000.
22.
There's one other player that I feel like you can get almost this entire list, to be honest with you. Maybe there's a couple guys in 1980 who both wore number 20.
Okay, so I got 5, right?
Yes. Anson, Barrie, Savoy, Huddy, and Hammerlick have all worn number 22. 5 for 14 right now, Hernan. But two of them are players that I know you won't get. They both played in the 1980 season.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Toby Reeder.
Wow.
Yes. Tobias. That's 6. I gotta get at least 50%.
I know. There's a couple that I feel like we've talked about a lot here on EST Afternoons.
Okay.
You and Gager have brought these players up a couple times.
Those probably, I'm trying to think 90s here.
You got almost all of the most recent players. There's a player from 2016 you haven't mentioned, in 2015 as well. Then there's one French player from 2007 to 2011 who wore number 22 as well. In 06, this one player also wore number 22. And then from 04 to 06, there was another player with 22. Then you got Anson Carter, who is from 01 to 03. You got Hammerlick from 99 to 2000. Luke, I gave one away. Luke is a hint for another player who wore number from 92 to 97.
Luke. Oh, Luke Richardson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bang on. Kind of gave you that one. That's okay, though. That's okay.
I'm intrigued by the one you said in 16, 17. Who the hell were 22 those years? I'm trying to think. The orders were...
He didn't play a lot. He was in the organization for a while. He did see a couple games in the NHL. I'm pulling up his stat book right now. It says he's played 210 games, 43 points. He's played in the NHL a little bit. He wrapped up his career with the Anaheim Ducks in 18-19. And he played only 8 games for the Oilers. Only 8 games for the Oilers. So, pardon me saying that he was a part of the organization for a long time. He skipped aside. So, from Edmonton, he went to Dallas for a bit, played the most games in his career, 69, 10 goals, 6 assists for 16 points in the 16-17 season. So,
JF Jacques.
JF Jacques is actually one of them, but not the player that I'm thinking of. Yeah, from 07 to 11, he wore that. So now you're 50%, but
I'm over. I'm 8.
Yeah. You're 8?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, you are. Well, I don't want to give you that other one. I kind of gave it away, Hernan. His initials are AC. 4-letter first name. When you think of an egg, you might think of doing this.
And no.
Kind of throwing you through the loop there.
Yeah, you're giving me too much info right now. I'm kind of like confused.
Rhymes with Adam.
Adam?
Yeah, it's Adam. It's first name, yeah.
I
would be very surprised, Hernan, if you get this. He's only played 8 games. He's played in St. Louis as well. He's been around for sure.
He played 8 games with the Oilers?
8 games with the Oilers. He's played for the Rangers, Dallas, St. Louis, Vancouver, Blue Jackets, and Anaheim. He only played 2 games in his final season.
Ryan Whitney.
No. Damn it. His last name starts with a C. What would you do to an egg, Hernan? When you were making eggs, what would you do?
Crack it.
Adam
Cracknell.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's a tough one, though.
That's a hard one, too. And I guess while we're at it, I know you're not going to get
Yeah.
the guys from 1980. Ron Carter and Poole Popiel?
Sure.
Popiel.
Who else, though? I'm still missing a few.
You want me to give them?
Yeah.
Yanni Rita?
Oh.
04.
That's a Gagers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 06. And then Rem Murray.
Ren the Gem. Yes.
Keith Ollie. And that rounds out the list.
Keith Ollie.
Yeah, yes.
Rem was 17, but then they retired Curry's 17 and he went to 22. That's right. Yeah, I wouldn't have got Yanni Rita either.
But good job, Hernan. That was good.
Thank you. Adam Cracknell. Oh, man, that was good. That was fun. I like doing those numbers things. And this is all we're assuming Ike's going to wear 22, right? Because he wore it at college.
But what
It's
do they do?
available.
Will he give him a Rolex or something? Would he give Savoy a Rolex if whoever plays first, right?
Oh,
Would
I
you
guess
take his
Savoy's
number?
22.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So I guess I forgot that guy, but well, we mentioned it off the top.
But did Savoy just take 22 as a default number, or is that his number? Does anyone know what he wore in junior or college, wherever the hell he played?
Let's see what he wore in the AHL.
Yeah, if he's 22 in the A.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he wore that same number here. He wore a few numbers. Yeah, for the Oilers, 22. Can't see it. It cuts off. Did he wear 21 for the Condors? That's a picture that I'm seeing here. But
Aiden says, sounds like he's going to wear 53. Are you being funny, Aiden? Are you being a funny guy right now?
yeah, how many? Hernan, let's keep going. How many Oilers players wore number 53? No, there's only one. It's Jeff Skinner.
Okay, because I'm looking at some of his junior. He wore 93.
Yeah, he wore 93 with the in Winnipeg. He also wore that in for the Sabres. When he played.
Too.
Yeah,
well, you can't wear it here, obviously, but
yeah.
I think 22 is going to be the number, boys.
Yeah, well,
Boys and girls?
21 Savoy wore in the AHL. So
Did he?
yeah, with the Condors. There must be a player
who's 21 on the Oilers.
Who is 21 on the Oilers? Frederick? No. Yes.
Frederick's 21 or 20?
Honestly, the numbers kind of mesh together. So that's a hard thing to recall sometimes when you think about players' numbers.
I
right?
got a
Like, there's some
UFC
that stand out,
question.
but 11. Geez.
For you, Koob, but we'll ask it after John Hodge, okay?
Yeah.
Someone-
He wore 21 for the Oilers as per AI overview, which I probably shouldn't trust half the time, but I do.
Perfect.
AI's controlling, man.
Controlling. Okay, up next, we're going to talk some CFL, talk about the suspension. We'll talk about the Elks. Are they turning the corner? Let's go. We'll see what happens. Big game, Calgary, Sask. That's an enormous game. Is Kenny Lawler the best receiver in the CFL? We're going to ask all these questions to our good buddy from 3 Down Nation, John Hodge. That's all coming up next here on EST Afternoon. Slam that thumbs up. Hit us up on the River Cree inbox and on the Nasty Chat. Here's Koob, Sports Update.
Three games underway in baseball. Jays just one win away from tying a franchise record for the most consecutive wins at 11. They trail the White Sox 2-1. In the bottom of the seventh, Ryan Burr on the mound for Toronto. No outs yet for Chicago and no runners on base. Meanwhile, the Dodgers hold the Brewers 2-1. Bases loaded. Dodgers are at bat with 2 outs in the inning. Elsewhere, we have Philadelphia up 1-0 over San Francisco. Run on first and second, 1 out for the Giants as they're at bat, and it's Adam Baum with the run for the Phillies. On the road, the Riverhawks play the Bells. They lost 8-6 last night to Bellingham. First pitch at 7:35. Bells hold top spot in the North Division at 21-13. Edmonton sits 2 games back in that North Division as well. And elsewhere in Fort Mac, Cactus Rats Giants go toe-to-toe. Energy City dropping their last game against the Giants 5-2 yesterday. First pitch at 7:05 and underway. In the WNBA, Mercury up 40-37 over the Lynx at halftime before the Wings and Sky tip-off. This sports update is brought to you by the Capital Care Foundation. Financial support deeply affects residents at Capital Care, whether it's a one-time donation or a monthly contribution. Every penny counts. Find out how you can donate at Capital Care Foundation.net. After the break, we connect with John Hodge from 3 Down Nation to talk all things CFL. I'm Zachary Koob Kubusch, and you're up to date.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
I'm fired up about people's ignorant takes about the CFL. Things like the CFL is dying, bro. Why do you like the CFL, bro? Do you actually watch these guys? Do you actually understand that the NFL and the CFL are very, very close in talent? But do you know how good Canadian players have become?
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, weekday afternoon 3 to 6, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Kayaks, bikes, camping gear? Make space for summer fun with Sentinel Storage. Spend more time on adventures with your outdoor gear and less time looking for them. Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
River Creek Resort and Casino on K97 proudly present Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly. Featuring small band and acoustic performances, Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly in the venue July 25th. Tickets at rivercreekresort.com.
River Creek Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Everyone knows when you need a truck now, you call Dawn.
That's right. You call us, Frontier Cartage, when you need driver coverage or have a truck that's down.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you've got way more freight to move than you thought.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you need a truck that's available and ready to start anytime you need.
You call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826. 587-222-5826.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
.222, welcome back to EST Afternoons here on Wednesday afternoon. Just coming off our second annual EST Golf Classic. And just ahead of John Hodge from 3 Down Nation. If you did miss it, Javon Leake, Robbie Brown did not practice today, but good news for the Elks. David Beard returned to the practice field. We'll see what his status will be for the upcoming game on Sunday as we head into Week 6. 3 games on tap. Starting on Friday, Sask home to the Calgary Stampeders. That's going to be a hell of a game. Red Blacks look to bounce back. 1-4 sitting right now. They'll take on the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And then, of course, your Edmonton Elks at Commonwealth Stadium, 5 o'clock Sunday, as they'll host Nathan Rourke and the BC Lions. Should be another great week of some CFL football. Talked about the suspension. 4 others fined for that melee in Montreal, which is interesting. We're going to get to all of it with our guy, John Hodge from 3 Down Nation. John, thank you for taking the time to join us today. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Hernan. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. I just brought it up just quickly on the suspension after the fight that broke out in Montreal. The BC player today gets the 1-game suspension. All the other Alouettes players take a fine. I was saying it in the last segment, John. I'm a little surprised because there is 2 Montreal players that were throwing some haymakers in there as well. Now, I know the BC player went over to their side and kind of started it all, but what did you make of the 1-game suspension and the 4 others getting fines?
Yeah, I mean, the news of this just broke, and the press release that I saw made it clear that the suspension to Kamoko Toure was because he incited the incident. That does appear to be the clarification from the CFL is, if you're a player who is trying to get in your own locker room and all of a sudden opponents rushing the tunnel and you don't know what's going on and Obviously, it's not appropriate to throw a punch, which is why a fine was still in place, a punishment was still in place. But obviously, defending your territory is more understandable, I suppose, than not necessarily making the trip across the field to go and try to get inside another team's locker room. I'm still not sure exactly why Koob Kubusch was trying to get inside the locker room. I don't know if there was something that was said. I know he did release a statement to 3 Down Nation through the team, but I don't believe he's talked on it in a scrum or anything like that. So I think this is a good message from the league, right? The first thing that Stuart Johnston, the new commissioner of the CFL, said at his introductory press conferences, number one is integrity of the game for him. And as much as I think the CFL's gotten, some extra publicity from this, I don't think this is the type of publicity they necessarily want. So I think this is a good decision from the league.
Let's take a look at this week's game. Sask 4-0 returns from their bye week. They'll take on the 3-1 Calgary Stampeders. Calgary looked pretty good in their last game, kind of surprising a lot of people there. What do you make of this game? Because Sask 4-0, and I know some people are trying to slow play, like, well, you got to look who they've played and all that. But I think Sask is still, I think I picked them to win the West. And then Calgary also, I think a lot better than maybe I anticipated. But, going in, combined record 7-1. Do you think this is a good test for the Riders here, that the Stamps are coming in feeling good about themselves after their big win last week?
I think it's a good test for both teams, honestly. I mean, the Stampeders, right, they go into Toronto, beat the Nick Arbuckle Argonauts. They come home, they lose to the Red Blacks in a torrential downpour with Dustin Crum at quarterback. You kind of go, okay, like this is the same Stampeders team we've kind of seen. They're okay. Like there's some things they do well, there's some things they don't. And then all of a sudden they put the Bombers on their knee and just spank them. And it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like this is the best win the Stampeders have had, not just this season, but in a number of years. It might have been the most surprising result we've seen from the CFL in a number of years. Like I did see a few people, we had a couple of our contributors at 3 Down Nation pick the Stampeders to win that game. I don't think anybody picked them to win it by 21 points.
Yeah.
Right. And if anything, I thought that score flattered the Bombers. Like it was a true beatdown. I think the quote from Mike O'Shea was, "We got our asses kicked." Mm-hmm. And that speaks volumes. Right. On the flip side, I do think this is a measuring stick game for the Riders as well. I mean, you mentioned it, Hernan. Not all of their wins have been emphatic wins. They haven't had necessarily the strongest competition in the CFL thus far. They haven't played the Alouettes. They haven't played the Blue Bombers. They're still 4-0, and obviously they deserve credit for that. But by the same token, we've seen this play before, right? They did this in 2023 under Craig Dickinson. They did this in 2024 under Corey Mace, where they started strong, and then they absolutely collapsed during the middle third of the season. In 2023, they did not recover from that. In 2024, they did recover that with a strong finish and then a playoff berth. Obviously, Rider fans, I'm sure, are very happy with the 4-0 start. I don't think they're going to be very happy if the team goes into another strong mid-season lull. So I'm jacked up for this one. There's only 3 games this week in the CFL, which kind of, but this is a good one.
John Hodge from 3 Down Nation joining us here on EST Afternoons. John, is Kenny Lawler the best receiver in the league?
When he wants to be, Kenny Lawler is I think far and away the best receiver in the CFL. Like, Week 1, the Ticats passing game was terrible, right? Like Bo Levi Mitchell, I think he threw, it was 13 targets to Kenny Lawler, and just nothing was happening. Like it was often double coverage. It was almost comedic. Like it was just not. It was like the little kid playing with the shiny new toy for the first time and just not understanding how it works or how to play with it. Obviously, that has since changed. Kenny Lawler got a lot of one-on-one coverage in that game against the Argonauts. And I mean, we saw it in the West Final, right? Kenny Lawler, I think, had 3 touchdowns in that game at Princess Auto Stadium against Saskatchewan last year. He's not the most consistent receiver in the CFL, but I mean, this is a guy who, was an NFL draft pick for a reason. And I think, it's not a talent issue why he's up in Canada. It's not an athleticism issue why he's in Canada. It's a consistency issue. If he was a little more consistent, I think he would have had a 5, 7, dare I say, 10-year NFL career. So when he is on, he is, again, I don't even think it's just the best. I think he's a tier above everybody else. And unfortunately for the Argonauts and their fans, he victimized them in a big way in week number 5. Absolutely special performance. He was 3 Down Nation's Offensive Player of the Week. And when he plays like that, he's virtually unstoppable.
So, John, like it's such an. I'm just looking at the receiving numbers, the stats around the league. There's a lot of talent. Like, who would you have kind of like beside Kenny Lawler as a top receiver right now? Because there's so many good options. Philpott, McInnes. I mean, we can go down the list here. But for you, who do you think is kind of pushing the envelope to be the top receiver in this league?
Well, one guy I'd highlight is DeMonte Coxey. Like I had this conversation in the offseason with a number of people around the league. Like who are the true number one receivers in the CFL? Like who can you trust to be that guy, quote unquote, in an offense to produce even when facing double coverage, produce even when drawing the top cover man from an opposing team. And no disrespect to Justin McInnes, who had a fantastic season last year, led the league in receiving. I've never had him as the number one receiver in the CFL. I do think he's proving that he can be a number one in an offense, but I wouldn't have him at the top of my list. The guy whose name kept cropping up when you talk to CFL people is how darn good DeMonte Coxey is in Toronto. Now, he's never had a 1,000-yard season. Injuries are part of that, obviously, kind of the revolving door. The last couple of years, I think, in Toronto at quarterback has had something to do with that as well, with Chad Kelly hurt or suspended, missing so much time. But I believe he's number 2 in the CFL right now. And to me, I think, again, Kenny Lawler, when he's on, is better than anybody else. I think DeMonte Coxey is right there. And then I think the Canadians you mentioned, Tyson Philpott, obviously is great. Jalen Philpott, his twin brothers, just as good. Justin McInnes is there. Dalton Schoen, I think, deserves a mention. Obviously, still working back from the injury. And unfortunately, it looked like he tweaked a knee in Calgary this past week. We don't have an update on that. Won't get one until they return from bye. You hope he's okay. But those would be some of my top targets for sure.
Hey, John, let's talk about the team here. They picked up a big win on Sunday. They needed that one. They got great play. They got some stops when they needed. The offense looked really good. We still don't understand why they were putting in Fajardo. Killam just said it was a plan going in, and we're like, okay, perfect. But Trey was excellent in that game, and the special teams were great as well. But what did you see from Edmonton? You think they're starting to turn that corner, or is it too soon?
I think they started to show signs of improvement in week 4. Like I got to see them in person in Winnipeg, and they lost that game by 13 points. But I thought, again, the score flattered Winnipeg a little bit in that one. I thought, despite some challenges on defense, giving up some of those big touchdowns, I thought the Elks played really well. And even if you go back and watch those touchdowns, like the deep shot to Carrick Weedfall in that game, like Devondrick Bynum was in very good position. Like it was a very, same thing on the deep shot to Nick Dembski. Again, good man defense, like down the field. Like at a certain point, you just got to tip your hat to the receiver. It's not like the defense was breaking down. It's not like the defender was, 3 strides behind him giving chase. Like even giving up those points, I thought the defense looked pretty darn good. Now I'm still expecting more from Edmonton's front 4. I have not seen as much pressure from that unit as I thought we would see. That being said, I think defensively they're getting better each week. Trey Ford has gotten better each week. And the thing that I really liked is the run game finally, for really the first time, looked like it did in 2024. Like this is a team that, I know they didn't make the playoffs, but they led the CFL in rushing in 2024. And it didn't matter if it was Justin Rankin back there, if it was Javon Leake, Trey Ford, whoever, they were getting a lot of production. And obviously there was a lot that had to improve year over year for Edmonton, but you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? If you're running the ball really well, why would you get rid of that, especially when you've got a young quarterback under center? So I like that we saw Trey Ford kind of in point guard mode, right? He's not necessarily pushing the ball deep down the field, but he's so dangerous with his legs, really forcing teams to kind of stretch the defense, cover every square inch of that line of scrimmage to contain him, keep him in, and he's able to take advantage, I think, with buying a little bit of extra time and distributing the ball to his many receivers. And I love the screens that we saw, right?
Yeah.
Obviously a huge touchdown coming off one of those to Justin Rankin. So I liked everything that we saw from the Edmonton Elks just about in that game. Again, I think defensively especially, there's room for improvement, but they're headed in the right direction. And my goodness, do they ever need that win, right? I mean, there's not often must-win games in week 5. If there's ever such thing as a week 5 must-win game, that was it. And kudos to them for getting it against a solid Red Blacks team.
Yeah, and they gotta follow it up here against Nathan Rourke, who's had their number when he starts against. I mean, you brought up the defense. 0 INT so far. They only have 2 sacks heading into week 6. So They did play better last game because they got some stops, but they need to start turning that ball over as well. John, hope you enjoy the week of CFL football. Should be 3 excellent games, and thanks for taking the time, and I'm sure we'll have you on again.
Thanks for having me, Hernan, anytime.
All right, that's John Hodge from 3 Down Nation. Who is the best receiver in the CFL? That's such a... I know Dusty did his best duels. I think it was yesterday morning before the golf tournament. And, I mean, you can't disagree with what he had. Like, no one in Edmonton, for sure. Not yet, at least. But, yeah, like, Kenny Lawler went off last game. But it's true, man. And, like, listen, I got to work with Kenny for my first year in the CFL. And, yeah, when he's on, man, there's no one better. But that's the consistency part. He's not always on. Or, you know, he's kind of up and down when it comes to the personality and the emotional part of the game. So, like, he was outstanding last week. Absolutely outstanding. And we'll see the Red Blacks. I mean, 1-4. Listen, and I know they didn't have Drew Brown for a lot of that. Drew Brown did not look good last week either. But he'll find his groove, and I just don't think that team is, well, how can they be? But I don't think they expected themselves to be 1-4 right now. There's a lot of good teams in the CFL. There's a lot of parity. But 1-4 is a tough look. And listen, for the Elks, they got to go win Sunday. Like, I don't think this fan base here is going to be like, oh, they won 1, but now we're going to lose 2 more. No, I don't think that's how it's going to work in Edmonton. So they got to follow it up. And Trey's looking good, man. I think every game he looks more and more like that quarterback that we've all wanted. Yes, the running's great, and we all love it. And when he does it and he can escape, it's great. But he's not going to it all the time. And I think that's showing what Trey's doing. He's maturing as a quarterback, as a pocket passer. He makes all the throws. Love the play calling last week as well. They mixed in a bunch of screens, those little fly plays. Absolutely loved it. And with the run game, man, this team could be very, very deadly. Now, on the flip side, defense has to be better. They're still giving up too many points. And I know a lot of them, well, some of them were in garbage time last week, but you need more pressure on that quarterback. You need to start turning that ball over. And I think it will. I think they're coming into their own. A lot of new guys. Of course, there's bad news with Robbie Smith not practicing Javon Leake. So we'll wait and see. We'll find out their status on Friday, if they're in or out. So hopefully both guys are good to go. Robbie Smith looks like he's going to be out for this one, because I was there at the game and I saw him and he was out for most of the second half, and that elbow was taped up and iced and all that. So Javon, I'm more optimistic because, like I said, he finished the game. I saw him after the game. He looked fine. So who knows what happened, but we knock on wood that the Elks don't go into this one missing their top returner and one of their Lightning and Thunder guys, right? So that game's at 5 on Sunday. We're going to have tickets tomorrow to give away here on EST Afternoons. It'll also be the return of our good buddy Joaquin Gage, who's doing another event today. He's a very popular guy, the former Oiler. But up next, we're going to talk to Tim Hauraney. He's our F1 guy. He's the insider. Does a lot of work for TSN and Nailing the Apex podcast, which is the best F1 podcast. If you're getting into F1 or love F1, make sure you're listening to his podcast. We got to talk about Red Bull, Christian Horner out. What does it all mean? That's all coming up next here on EST Afternoons. Here's Koob, Sports Update.
15 games on the MLB schedule, 3 games live right now. Toronto looking to keep their 10-game win streak going to tie franchise record at 11 in a row. And right now in the bottom of the 8th, Toronto down 2-1 to Chicago. Yariel Rodriguez on the mound for the Jays. 0 outs for Chicago as they're at bat. Nathan Lukes with 2 hits, 3 at-bats. Bo Bichette 2 hits for 2 visits to home plate, with Will Wagner having the lone run for the Jays. Well, from Milwaukee, it's the Dodgers leading 2-1 midway through the 8th, and the Phillies have a 2-0 lead over San Francisco. Verlander pitching for the Giants. And also in action, the Riverhawks battle the Bells. Edmonton 2 games back of Bellingham with an 8-6 loss in their series opener yesterday. First pitch is at 7:35. And back in Alberta, the 14-20 Cactus Rats face the Fort McMurray Giants, looking to bounce back from a 5-2 loss last night. That one gets going just after 7 on the court. WNBA action sees the Lynx and Mercury tied at 48 apiece, just about 5 minutes left in the third quarter. The final segment of EST Afternoons with Tim Hauraney checking in to talk some F1 is what brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Koob, keeping you up to date.
Avocado and feta dip, passion fruit cheesecake, and cocktails that taste like summer in a glass. Try the new feature menu at The Banquet. Refreshing, craveable, and made for sunny days. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Summer in Edmonton means 3 things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YAG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YAG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
River Creek Resort and Casino on K97 proudly present Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly. Featuring small band and acoustic performances, Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly in the venue July 25th. Tickets at rivercreekresort.com.
River Creek Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
It's 2:42, final segment here on EST Afternoons as we get to the Need for Speed segment for Rad Torque Raceway. Catch one of the largest professional drag racing events in Canada, the Rocky Mountain Nationals, July 11th to the 13th at Rad Torque Raceway. Tickets and info online at radraceway.com. And huge news in the F1 world. And to talk about Horner being out at Red Bull, we are joined by our guy, F1 Indy Car Insider, also does work for TSN. And check out his podcast, Nailing the Apex, one of the best around talking F1. Tim, my friend, I really appreciate your time. I know it's been a crazy day, probably one of the top stories in F1 in a long time, but I guess let's just start there. Horner's out. It was much rumored and talked about, but it actually happened today. Where did it all go wrong here with Red Bull?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? They're not. Red Bull hasn't really said anything too much about this publicly, and I did talk at length on SportsCenter and TSN throughout the day about all of this. But I speaking with some sources that were close to the story, big part of this sounds like performance based. I would say I wouldn't think it was anything else outside of that, because he was allowed into the factory to say goodbye to everybody. They let him give a little bit of a speech to the team and all that kind of stuff. It is strange. It caught everyone off guard. Like nobody knew about this, not even Horner. So it was it did catch everybody out of the blue, that's for sure. But like you said, right, huge story. I think, like I was saying, performance based. The team hasn't been going in the right direction now for the last little while. Car hasn't been going really, anywhere, not even in a straight line very well this season. So I think all of it just added up on Horner, and that was the end of it. And I think a big part of it is the Red Bull parent company itself. It's owned by the Austrian side. It's also owned by the Thai side. So the business that's from Thailand that owns 51% of Red Bull, the energy drinks company. And, they have been big supporters of Christian Horner for a very long time. And I think when it came down to it, when you look at the performance and how things are going so wrong at this team, especially this year, and the brain drain that the team has had from it over the last 2 seasons, I think for them it was just seeing everything and weighing their options and just pretty much saying, like, look, we just can't move forward with them anymore, and we have to try and do whatever we can to make sure we hold on to Max Verstappen and keep him happy. So crazy day, man. Crazy.
Yeah. So I guess I'll just go off that. Like, what does this mean for Max now? Because I mean, the noise surrounding Verstappen is probably even louder, right? Like, he's getting so many questions. You can see the frustration that he doesn't want to answer it anymore. But what do you think this does for Max at Red Bull now that Horner's out?
Honestly, I still think that, even though this looks like, from the outsider looking in, it does look like they did this to satisfy Max in a way. I mean, the Verstappen camp wasn't necessarily getting along very well with Christian Horner either. And, there is an argument there to be made that this could be part of it as well. But I still think that Red Bull has to be worried about losing Max Verstappen.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if this car can get any better for the rest of this season. He's 69 points back in the Drivers' Championship. That's quite a deficit to make up. When you look at next season, with the new regulations coming on board, the new engine regulations, car regulations, has Red Bull got it right? They're building their own powertrain. They're building their own power unit, their engines. They're going to be an engines manufacturer. That's new for them, and this was Christian Horner's idea. And I don't know if it's going in the right direction. From things I hear in the paddock, people I talk to, it sounds like it's been a work in progress, to say the least. And I don't know if it stacks up well with the other power units that are being built at the moment. But at the same time is we're not going to know who's going to be fast until we get to the first race of 2026 in Melbourne, Australia, and then we'll get a better idea. Excuse me. And that's why I think that, all the rumor, all the noise around Verstappen and Verstappen's camp, speaking with Total Wolff now, I really don't see anything playing out until 2026. Because if you're Max and Red Bull gets it right, you look like not very good. And if you're Max and Red Bull, gets it wrong, then you have an excuse to get out of your contract. Plus, in 2027, half the field's contracts are up.
Yeah.
There will be an open seat for you. And even though that at the moment, George Russell and Kimi Antonelli at Mercedes, their contracts are up at the end of this season, what's stopping Total Wolff for just giving them both a 1-year deal plus an option, and the driver that does the worst in one of those 2 seats gets booted and Max Verstappen gets added?
Yeah. It's gonna be fascinating. So now, Tim, just Laurent Mekies takes over now. What do you expect here? Like, is he going to be able to handle the move? Is he kind of just being set up to fail? Like, how are you seeing this move now as he's moving over from their sister team?
Yeah, he's got a wealth of experience. He's worked for so many different Formula One teams. He's even worked for the FIA. He's most recently, obviously, before he went to Racing Bulls, he was coming off of working for Ferrari in some pretty big roles at that team. And so I think it's a good move. I like the move, having him come over as CEO and team principal, though. I found that quite interesting. I'm not too sure how that will work out. So I'm interested to see how it plays out. However, it's a good move. I like it. I like Laura. I find he's not too much of a showman. He's more of a, his work will speak for himself kind of guy, and I appreciate that. And so let's see how it works out with him there. I mean, it's going to take a long time to turn the ship around, so to speak. But I think for like Max Verstappen, he's going to have his work cut out there to try and convince Max to stick around.
And just one last one. I know you've been super busy. I appreciate your time today, Tim. What's next for Horner?
That's a great question. I mean, at the moment, he's been involved in Formula One for so long, so many years. Like, what do you do, right? Like, he's never missed a race in like 20, 21 years. Never missed a race. It's crazy. So it's kind of like, okay, well, what does someone like that do next? And I think he's, I think we see him again in Formula One. Now, where could he end up? That's going to be the question.
Yeah.
I mean, Ferrari has wanted Christian to come over and join the team. There has been reports about that. There's been a lot of rumors as well that circulated those reports. But I don't necessarily see him picking up and moving to Italy. And, what else makes sense? I mean, Flavio Briatore, who Christian is friends with, is running Alpine at the moment. And that team is not very good. And they could use someone like a Christian Horner to come in and steer things in the right direction. And you know what? I think that could be a place where he ends up, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, that's just me speculating.
Yeah.
But that could be a good place for him.
Wow. Yeah. Just an amazing drop of news this morning, Tim. It's been just crazy to track.
It's been a wild day.
Yeah, for sure. and now, no race this week. So by the time we get to the next race, the dust will be settled and all that. But Tim, great stuff as always. Thank you so much for taking the time today. And we'll chat soon, my friend.
All right. Thanks very much for having me. Really appreciate it. Talk to you later.
That's Tim Hauraney, F1 Indy Car Insider, works for TSN. Nailing the Apex podcast. Check it out. It's fantastic. It's with Adam Wilde. Both guys are just awesome. So, what a day. This is enormous news. If you're new to like the auto racing world, like I'm pretty damn new. I mean, I started to get into F1 during the pandemic, obviously with Drive to Survive. And then this year I've added IndyCar and NASCAR to it. So I'm becoming that guy. But this is a bombshell. Like, just go follow on Twitter. F1 reporters and it's mind's blown. If we're comparing it to something, it's a good question. I don't know what to compare it to. It's that's a really good question. I might have to ask Joaquin that tomorrow. Koob, remind me. Like, this move is that enormous. Like they moved on from Christian Horner. So,
which question did you want me to remind? I'm just writing it down right now.
It's just going to be, what can you compare this move from Red Bull in other sports?
Ooh, okay. I like comparisons like that. Those are nice.
Yeah, because it's enormous news. I was blown away when I saw. You almost have to do a double take and make sure you're checking out, making sure it's verified account and everybody's got everything correct, right? It's just like when people break trades, right? You want to make sure it's the real Elliot Friedman and Frank Serafin.
Right. Does F1 have that though? Like, I know.
Oh yeah.
We're heavy into the hockey world, but I'd imagine every other sports league has those fake accounts. Like the NBA has this NBA Central.
Yeah.
Or whatever like that. It's play off the NBA Central or whatnot. And sometimes I almost get caught by it, and then you always have to verify, especially everything online, man.
It's not crazy. So much on F1, but there's like fan accounts where they'll just speculate. You know what I mean? But there's not a lot.
But they make it look like it's official. So then you have a lot of followers, and you're like, this one guy said it because F1 has a huge following around the world, right?
Yeah, so
only makes sense.
And then once TSN and then pick it up, it's legit, right? So,
yeah, it's only a few years until Gager's EST's F1 insider himself. Nah, Tim's too good of a guy. I wouldn't want to lose him.
So he can join Tim.
Yeah. Right?
What are we at here with the Blue Jays? Did they lose? Yeah, they have lost.
Yeah, their 10-game winning streak is over. They didn't match the franchise record at 11. It was a 2-1 loss to the White Sox, and they were down 2-1 since the end of the fourth.
That's okay. They won 10 straight. They're in first place. Who cares? The Afternoon Box is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Check out the kitchen restaurant Sundays and Mondays. It's 50% off the entire menu. and it's from 5 p.m. until close. Hey, it's been a fun show. We talked a lot about Ike Howard. He likes to be called that, so don't say Isaac. I like Isaac. And we heard from him as well, a few clips. Hernan's World, we had some fun with video games. We were talking about number 22 because that's what he wore. Junior, but Savoy, where's that now? And we kind of went all over the place with jersey numbers regarding the Edmonton Oilers. We gave you a quick Elks update regarding their injury report as they get ready to play the Lions on Sunday. John Hodge from 3 Down Nation and Tim Hauraney joined us on just the bombshell news drop from today in F1 that Horner's out at Red Bull. Coming up next, Reed Wilkins, Jay Milne. They got a loaded show. Keep it locked here from 3 to 6. And tomorrow we're back once again from 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for listening and watching us. We love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll chat tomorrow. Chowders.